Okay. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel for a continued devotional. Today we are talking about hope for the future. I always do this at the beginning of every Devo that I do with you guys here on YouTube, but I'm going to give you a reading assignment, pause the video while you read it, and then come back and I'll share what I have for today's devotional. So the reading for today is Luke chapter 1 and 2. They're a little bit long, but they're really interesting and they're about Mary. So go ahead, read those while the video's paused and then come back. All right, now that you've finished reading Luke chapters 1 and 2, I want to tell you guys a story. So you know how when you're a senior in high school and you have, a lot of schools will do this, my school did this, you have your senior picture in the yearbook and then you get to pick your senior quote. So my senior quote was actually Luke 1:45, and in the NIV that says, "Blessed is she who has believed that what the Lord has said to her will be accomplished." That is a direct quote about Mary. I believe Elizabeth said it. And the reason I use that as my senior quote, which is a little bit eccentric, I have to admit, most people were like quoting like Einstein or Thomas Edison or someone like that, but I was using a Bible verse because there was something that the Lord was teaching me about Mary all throughout like my junior and senior year of high school. One, I was learning about how Mary, she really wanted to obey the Lord with her life. The angel Gabriel, he comes to Mary and he says, "Mary, this is what's going to happen to you." It's all in this Luke chapter 1 passage. That this is what the Lord is going to do through you. And what is Mary's response to that? Mary's response to this, really, it's a difficult calling in life, is, "I am the Lord's servant. May it be to me according to your word," or according to your will. And then Mary, it says later on that Mary, she took all these things that had been spoken to her and she treasured them, she pondered them, she rolled them over in her heart. She had a hope for the future. You know, later on in Luke chapter 2, Anna, the prophetess, who I was actually named after, my mom and dad chose to name me after Anna. I narrowly escaped being named Anna Phanuel George because Phanuel was the like sub-tribe that Anna was, you know, a member of in the tribes of Israel or whatever. And so thank God my middle name is Elisa, not Phanuel. But anyway, another story for another day. Anyway, when Anna the prophetess, when she sees the newborn baby Jesus being brought into the temple by Mary and Joseph, what does Anna do? Anna recognizes that this newborn baby, it's the coming Messiah. It says right here in verse 38, at that very moment she came up and began to thank God and to speak about him to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. Looking forward to, that's hope. They had a hope for their future, that there would be a Messiah. Jesus was the fulfillment of that hope. And Mary, because she chose to obey and accept God's calling on her life, she got to be a big part of what God was doing in all of humanity. This was the answer to sin and death. This is the answer. Jesus being born, and eventually he's going to die on the cross and be, you know, he's going to rise from the dead, and it's going to offer like salvation for all of us. So anyway, hope for the future. That's what we're talking about this week in the digital devotional magazine that I produce over on my Patreon page. I link that in the description box below all of my videos and at the end of the video over here on the side screen. And basically this week we are going through chapters in Luke and in Matthew, and we are going over this story of Mary and Joseph and their decision to obey God, their decision to be a part of bringing hope for the future. And I also tie in some scriptures from Isaiah and just different places. So I'm excited for you guys to go through the Devos this week and just reflect on and meditate on hope for the future. You have a hope in Christ Jesus, and you have a hope for 2019. That's the Devo for today. Have a Merry Christmas with your family. I wrote in the little letter for this week over in the Continue magazine over on Patreon, I wrote about how this is like a luxurious time for me because I'm getting to be around my family. I'm getting to be around especially my brothers and my husband's family, because I rarely get to see my brothers and my brother's wife Rachel and then my husband's family. I see my parents and my sister and my brother-in-law frequently, but the rest of them not very often. So I'm excited to be with them, and I hope you guys are excited to spend time with your family. And be looking out for the kickoff of the Begin with Anna Bible Reading Challenge. Different from Read with Anna. We're in the middle of reading through the Old Testament, and it's awesome, but we're going to do a 21-day challenge to kick off the year. For those of you who aren't doing the Read with Anna Bible reading plan, you could do this 21-day challenge in January with me, and I'm super excited about that. That video is going to post Monday on New Year's Eve, December 31st. So be looking out for that. and I'll see you guys then. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.